Championship week, our last show of the year. Namco over here, Dustin right here. Every year we say it. It flies by. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
We're already in week 16, so hopefully you're watching this because you're in the championship. If so, congratulations.
And if not and you're watching it, you're simply awesome. So before a tip, or actually we're not even going to do a tip, because if you're in the finals, you pretty much know what you're doing. Play defense against your opponent. You know, obviously if you're like Murray, or hopefully you handcuffed them like we've been telling you to do forever. All of those things, really what I want to take some time to do is, or what we like to take some time to do is, even though he doesn't express his emotions nearly as well as I do, just want to thank you from the bottom of our heart on behalf of all of FSD. Honestly, bottom of my heart, we do this, over the last couple years, we have grown just exponentially, keep growing and growing and growing, and it's all word of mouth. We don't make money, we don't got money to market, so the way we grow is by you guys telling other people. Now that the season's over, if we're like your secret source or something stupid like that, please share it with like 3 or 4 other people, just so we can get some more hits. We'll give you some more love in the forums. But again, we appreciate everything. Thank you for watching the videos, thank you for being in the forums. They don't care anymore. Dustin, go ahead and ask questions.
Our secret source.
Do you think we're anybody's secret source?
Alright. Full Nelson, maybe full Nelsons. We'll
full
see.
Nelson.
Which quarterback, Eli at St. Louis, or RG3 going up against Philly?
This is actually tougher than... I was just telling, actually, Dustin's wife, she was asking me some questions in championship game, asking me about RG3, and I'm going to tell you guys what I told her. I think RG's floor is actually extremely low. Obviously, he's very injury prone. He hasn't been playing. They got not real like a bunch of faith with him, but his ceiling is even higher than Eli Manning's due to the rushing yards, due to the legs. So this is what I would say. I would probably start Eli Manning simply because I love Odell Beckham. I think the guy's a stud. I think Eli's definitely safer as well. But if you're in a matchup and you think you need to go for the absolute home run, I'm okay going RG3, but again, I would start Eli. Alright, Dustin. Dion wants to know which wide receiver, Josh Gordon at Carolina, Calvin Benjamin home versus Cleveland, or Vincent Jackson at home against the Green Bay Packers.
I know it was ugly, but I'm still a believer. I don't think you can put the upside of Josh Gordon on your bench unless you're replacing it with similar upside. I mean, Calvin Benjamin, it's close. It's really close. I don't really like the matchup against Cleveland, though, and I don't...
A little worried about Joe Hayden?
You gotta be a little bit. I mean...
Makes sense.
I throw Josh Gordon a wide receiver screen and let him do the rest. I mean...
It only takes one.
It only takes one. The Browns were awful last week, but Carolina's D isn't as good. I think they will be better, not good, but I think Josh Gordon will have he'll break one. It's hard. He's not the safest out of the 3.
Nope.
Okay, next one. If Julio plays, moving Harry Douglas to the bench, who do you play? Stedman Bailey versus the Giants, any Jags receiver, or Percy Harvin versus New England?
Well, considering the Jags play Thursday night, and we won't be really certain about Julio, you take that out of the consideration. Plus, you can't really trust any one of them anyway. Percy Harvin is banged up. I don't think they're letting on how actually hurt he actually is. So I'm not a big fan of that. Plus, you know, the defense of New England, I don't see them scoring more than 10 points anyway. So by default, and I kind of like him anyway, is Bailey. He's been getting a lot of targets lately. Didn't find the end zone last week, but against the Giants, I think that they're going to be throwing a decent amount against him. You attack him in the secondary. I like Bailey as the pick here.
Alright, let's move to those studs, deepers, and deep sleepers. My dud's going to be Sammy Watkins. He's fallen off of a cliff, and they're going up against Oakland. You might thinking about starting him, but Buffalo's defense is legit.
So good.
They are really good. They're going to win that game with their defense. I just really don't. If Sammy Watkins doesn't do anything for you in the first couple of quarters,
it's over.
It's over for you. He's scary. He's really scary for me this week. My sleeper, I'm going with a kicker.
Ah, boo. Last show you go with a kicker?
Boo. That's how I'm leaving you this year. Matt Bryant, I should have talked about him on my waiver wire show, but I didn't think about it. The man's he's only owned in 35% of leagues. And here's the thing, this late in the season, it's getting colder, you're starting to worry a little bit more about weather. He's playing in a dome this week. a game that could be a high-scoring game.
Vegas thinks it's going to be high-scoring.
I think Matt Bryant needs to be picked up in more leagues. I mean, everyone forgets about the kicker, but give me a good kicker kicking in a dome on a decent offense.
That's true.
And my deep sleeper is going to be Lance Dunbar. You know, it definitely looks like DeMarco's going to play. And I do want to preface this in PPR leagues. I do think if you're in a 12, 14 team league, PPR league, and you're not really in love with your flex spot, I think Dunbar could be interesting because they seem to like him a little bit more than Randall in passing situations. And if they get up or they get down and they pull DeMarco, I think there's a really good chance in 12, 14 team leagues that Dunbar has.
I used my waiver on him against you in our 14 team league.
There you go.
So you're a smart man, Dustin Barkley. All right, my dud is going to be Josh Gordon. And he's not a dud. He's definitely not a start. I would start Calvin Benjamin over him. I just don't trust him. Johnny Football was so terrible. It hurt the entire Cleveland Brown offense. And I know Dustin, he loves these kind of running type gadget quarterbacks. So he's defending him. And I get the line's not that great, but still.
The line's terrible.
Oh, he was just so bad though. And a couple times he tried to break it and he was just getting killed. It ain't college anymore. He was throwing up these terrible balls. His picks were ugly. I hate Johnny Football right now.
Wide receiver screen. Get the ball in his hands.
Again, he's going to be like a low-end wide receiver 2 for me. That's all that I'm saying with him. My sleeper, because Johnny Football sucks, is the Carolina defense. They've been coming along. They've been coming on as of late as well. They were a solid defense last year. Their secondary is still not that great, but their run defense and the way they attack the quarterback is good. So I think that can hinder the Johnny Football mobility. And he's terrible throwing the ball because he just throws it up for grabs anyway. So who cares about the secondary? My deep sleeper is going to be Smith of the San Francisco 49ers. Do this if you're in deep leagues, pick him up, or if you just need a running back, pick him up because Hyde and Gore are both missing practice. I almost think it's a lock that Gore does not play. Hyde, I would say, is like 50-50. The Niners aren't really playing for anything, so why are you going to aggravate? Gore's going to be gone next year. Hyde's the back of the future. Maybe you don't want him to aggravate or anything. Who knows? I think Smith has a chance to touch the ball 20 times this week if both of them are out, so could be a sneaky play.
All right, let's take a look at Mike's picks. His dud is going to be Phillip Rivers. He has definitely not been that great lately. Not the best matchup against San Francisco. So he's not feeling Rivers this week. His sleeper's RG3. And I will say this, and he's in the finals in one of our big leagues that we do, and he just picked up RG3, and he's starting him over Rivers in a 2-quarterback league that we have. So he definitely believes in what he's saying here. I mean, you know what you're doing if you're starting RG3. You're taking a huge risk. It could potentially work out for you. Just be ready for those 2 or 3 turnovers. Hopefully he does enough with his legs to make up for it. And then his deep sleeper is Toby Gerhart. He is very interesting this week. I talked about him on the Waiver Wire show. You know, going up against Tennessee, this might be one of the first times this year where Jacksonville might actually play with a lead. It's possible. So, you know, if Gerhart gets 15 to 20 touches against Tennessee's defense, I mean, you got to think he's going to be at least a 10-point play if he does it.
Before we're out, if your league actually has Week 17 as the championship week, yell at your commissioner. Get that changed. It's the stupidest thing ever. People are on buys. There's no reason to do that. This should be championship week for everybody. Hopefully it is. Hopefully you're in it. Again, thank you. We'll be in the forums, though, for Week 17.
We will be.
Oh, that was a they don't know what that hit, but it was a good toss. Oh, thank you, everyone. See you soon.
I look like Johnny Manziel.
I hate Johnny Manziel. I officially hate him. I'm going to dog him for the rest of his career.
His first time he got sacked. Did you see the guy?
Well, they all did that. Pac-Man Jones on the sideline was doing it, and it was your boy did it, got a penalty, and then got the pick right afterwards too, because Johnny threw it right to him like a moron. Yay, money!